So here's a quick video just having a quick look at the 3V. This is the Nautilus waterproof dry bag. I just thought I'd give you a quick look at it. This one's the 15 here, and I've actually laid out the 30 so you can see size wise how big the 30 is. That's the other option that you have. The bag itself is made from a very heavy duty waterproof vinyl, which is obviously waterproof, and if you have a closer look, the seams are all taped and glued, so the bag is entirely waterproof. How it does up, if you're not used to a dry bag at all, I'll just show you on the 30. You have on the inside of the bag here, you have a reflective, very waterproof kind of seam that these two come together. So you put whatever you want into the bag, you close it at the top. It effectively then forms a pretty tight seal across the top, and then as you gently roll the bag that way, it will now form a tighter and tighter seal, and after about 2 rolls it's more than enough to hold as a completely dry seal. And then to actually clip it up, you take the clip from this end and attach it to the clip at that end in the middle, he said, like I've done with this one here, so they then clip together and it creates a complete sealed bag that just rolls up a little bit more into a kind of duffel shape. So that's how they do up and stay completely dry. I'm quite a big fan of a 15 litre to 20 litre kind of size dry bag, so their smaller versions actually I'm more popular with. I would keep my sleeping bag, tent and maybe my puffy jacket inside, which means no matter how bad the weather gets, or if I do a river crossing, I've actually got, you can see there's a little bit of a problem with the trail coming up, so when you get situations like that, you can keep everything dry inside here. And you know, even in bad rain, that when you come to camping in the evening, the gear that you need to stay dry is still dry. It's also quite useful at the end of the day if you've been out doing wet stuff, to know that you can throw your wet gear into a bag like this and keep your car dry. And the same goes if you're out kayaking or doing water sports, you can keep your gear inside one of these bags. What I like is if you keep quite a lot of air inside them when you're using them, they also float. So even if something goes overboard, they still float. One of the other nice features they have is each of these bags comes with an attachable shoulder strap, which means you can kind of fling it over your shoulder as well if you're out carrying it for a little while, which I think is a nice feature. And despite how well made they are and how high the build quality is, the prices on these are really surprisingly low as well. So I think from memory the 15 litre is only just over 10 bucks. I think it's something like less than 15 bucks, which I think is astonishingly good value. So there you go, a really nice essential piece of kit to have inside your backpack just to keep your gear dry. I always have a couple of dry bags of various sizes, but I think the most popular is about the 15 to 20 litre much. If you bought their bigger one, their 30, you're going to cover literally everything that you're going to need inside one bag to keep stuff dry, but I'm certainly a big fan of a kind of 15 to 20 litre. And for 3V, the Nautilus comes in a 15 and a 30 litre option. So there you go, gives you a little bit of a look at it, so you get to see what it's like. But that's the 3V Nautilus waterproof dry bag.